Dungeons and Dragons is dead. You've heard it here, folks. You can pack up your bags and head home. That game you had planned this weekend? Dead. That silly little campaign that you've been putting together? Dead. Maybe you were considering looking into getting into D&D. Well, you can't, because it's dead. Well, at least that's what you might hear if you ask around. And me? Well, I think that's bull. In today's video, I'm going to talk to you about why the D&D is dead mentality is not just wrong, but honestly harmful to the game that we all love. We'll talk about why what we say matters, and why D&D, whether it's 5th edition or any other version, is way bigger than Hasbro, Wizards of the Coast, or D&D Beyond. Now listen, I'll be the first to admit when the D&D Beyond changes to character sheets were going to go through, I was on the front lines, printing out paper character sheets and transferring my players' characters onto them. And yes, I watched on too as we were presented with D&D Direct, where we were given a spotlight on a book already out with its followers decided and its naysayers solidified, as well as the rest of the core books that have been spread out to make the transition, should you choose it, even more uncomfortable and annoying. We also got things like the starter set too late. Why are we coming here? We just left. And shouldn't have this just been one book? But hey, at least we got Legos, right? All of this is to say that nothing in this video is to defend the many decisions and directions that Hasbro's of the Coast is taking that so much of the wider community is unhappy with. But why are we unhappy with these decisions? Well, it's simple. Because we care. We care about the game. We care about the people that make things for the game. And we care about new people coming into the game. We want the game to grow and thrive, and there has been some form of disconnect in the community. I feel that people see any decision that Hasbro makes around the current game having irreversible, all-encompassing effects that gives them too much power, and calling it dead only adds to that. Now I know, you have to get your clicks. I'm a creator as well. But you also have to consider the mind of the passerby. Hasbro and the products they are releasing is not all that D&D is. 5th edition, especially, has grown way past its roots, with multiple iterations of the game rising to see success. Every member of the community could never buy another single book, edition, or item made by Wizards of the Coast, aka Hasbro, and the community and the game that is 5th edition could still be alive and thriving. D&D is more than just Hasbro. 5e has become more of a platform than a rule set created by one entity. Now sure, maybe if all you ever did was use their books and run their modules, then maybe some of this stuff truly does destroy the entire game for you, but based on my many years of experience in the hobby, most people do not solely play this way. Now I get it, there's a need to get the clicks, right? But we gotta be thinking about the people hearing that D&D is dead for the first time. New players, casual fans, people who might be genuinely excited to try the game, until they hear that it's supposedly over. That's not just a bummer, it's truthfully harmful to the health of the game. And so with this, I ask my fellow creators and community members, do better. Even if a game is active, widespread claims that it's dead can lead to a self-fulfilling prophecy. Players might leave the game or hesitate to join even, because they believe the community is dwindling, leading to a real decrease in activity. Even if a game is active, widespread claims of it being dead can lead to a self-fulfilling prophecy. Players might hesitate to join or decide to leave because they believe the community is dwindling, leading to an actual decrease in activity. This buzzword catchphrase, dead game, is often used by the video game community, and often mockingly. You'll see this used anytime a game makes an update or a decision that someone disapproves of. And funnily enough, it's often used on some of the most popular games or games with natural life cycles like single-player games. And at the end of the day, in every case, Well, it's dumb, it's unhelpful, and it's incorrect. Misinformation, even if it's just said in passing or out of frustration, has real consequences. When you say something like, the game is dead, you're not just venting your frustration, you're affecting how people perceive the community, the game, and their potential enjoyment. And believe it or not, whether we like to think so or not, what we say has an effect on people. And what people say has an effect on us. Even sometimes, even it's completely unnoticeable. These things have ripple effects. What we say carries weight. And when we spread false narratives, even unintentionally, we're giving unnecessary power to that negativity. We're taking the life and energy out of the game that we claim that we love. It's not just about protecting the brand. It's not about protecting the brand at all. It's about protecting the community and the experiences that we have all enjoyed for years. So what is the right way to approach these conversations? Because let's be real, there are plenty of valid criticisms to be made about the decisions coming from Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast. And it's important that we as a community don't shy away from these conversations. But how we frame them matters. We need to focus on who is truly responsible for these decisions that we don't like. Spoiler alert, it's not the game itself or its developers. It's the executives and the decision makers. The people at the top that are driving changes that feel out of touch with the game, well, that's because frankly, they are. They don't play the game and they don't really care about it. But what do they care about? Well, money, shareholders, and quarterly reports. So how do we hold the company and its leadership accountable for their choices? One of the most effective ways is deciding where to spend our money. When we have something to say, sure, you can give direct feedback, speak up on social platforms, but most of the time, those methods are more for those involved with the community, trying to spread the word in that space. And we have seen so clearly that the leadership at Wizards of the Coast currently is not part of that community. I mean, think about it. When the OGL debacle happened, do you really think that it was some YouTube videos and Reddit posts that truly changed the minds of those at Wizards? No, I think not. It was a mass exodus of D&D Beyond accounts and emerging side systems that were announced, which for Wizards leadership is nothing more than money flying out the window. Yes, the reporting and the videos are important because they got the information of what they were doing to the community, so the community could take the time to react. Or when the same happened when Wizards announced the upcoming update for character sheets with the new update of D&D 2024 coming. And again, people spoke with their wallets and they listened. Now, don't get me wrong. Constantly being tested is downright exhausting. And playing the game of back and forth of will they continually try to push boundaries of what the community will accept is enough to drive anyone nuts. Like a bad partner who constantly has to apologize and seek forgiveness for their actions. Eventually, you're going to be tempted to find someone who doesn't have to apologize. And this may be just what some people need. We can protect ourselves from the uncertainty by cutting out our reliance on Wizards of the Coast or D&D Beyond. It can be tiring wondering if, is this the week we'll cancel D&D Beyond again? We can do things like finally make a full move to paper character sheets, or when looking for new things to add to our games, we can look to third-party companies like Kobold Press, MCDM, Sly Flourish, EN World, Monty Cook, MT Black, and many others. And we want things like new rules or mechanics, we can look to other derivatives of 5th edition that have emerged, like Level Up Advanced 5e, Tales of the Valiant, and more. Now, if you want to take a break and try other games, I think you should. I think playing all kinds of different games in the tabletop space does nothing but strengthen us, both as players and dungeon masters. So no, Dungeons and Dragons isn't dead. As long as people are rolling dice and telling stories, it never will be. Next time you hear someone saying that the game is over, remember, D&D only dies if we let it. And I don't know about you, but I'm not planning on it anytime soon. Don't jump ship just because of some bad reporting, and don't feel like your voice does not matter. Just remember how you use it. The only time we make it so it doesn't matter is when we walk away. I'm curious, what changes have you made in your games to protect yourselves from Hasbro's influence? Have you taken on any new third-party rule sets, maybe? Maybe you've moved to a different game for now, or you continue to just adjust what you're given in its current state to fit your table. Maybe you're already in the process of adapting D&D 2024 rules to your table. Whatever the case, let me know in the comments below, and let's continue this conversation. And let me know if you enjoyed this type of video where we talked a little bit more about the state of things, and if you'd like to see more in the future, and what topics you might want me to cover. In the meantime, feel free to check out some of the many videos on my channel that we've dropped recently, covering everything from role-playing NPCs to common dungeon master and player mistakes. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a like and smack that subscribe button and bell notification and help us hit the big 200. And join in, follow along for more as we continue to learn how to better run our games. Thanks guys, and we'll see you on the next one.